Hey, dude, how you doing? Yeah, really good. How's it all going? Brilliant. I like your wallpaper. That's really cool. And I guarantee, like even from like the social media stuff I'm doing now, what's amazing is when I first came up with the idea, and I was like, look, I've been doing, teaching music and music industry stuff for 20 years, but I've not done it online. And it came up with this idea, and I was like, well, why don't we just take music education to the year 2016 as it was then and do something different. And at first people were like, oh, I like that stuff, it's really, really good. And then all of a sudden the audience, even though it's only been 4 months, 5 months, but the audience started to grow, and all of a sudden it was amazing to see people sniffing around that I haven't seen or talked to for a long, long time, since I was back at BIM, when all of a sudden, I own BIM and people are inviting me out to this, that and the other, and all of a sudden I'm somebody, and then all of a sudden I sell BIM and I'm nobody again. And the only difference is the audience. The only difference for this is, at the moment, people are looking at what I'm doing and they're going, I need to jump on this, I need to be a part of this, or I need to be friends with this guy, or I need to be in early with this guy. Music industry people I'm talking, because they can see it going somewhere. And so it's the proof is in the pudding type thing. And I feel like the only thing that's done that is, yes, I talk sense, but I was talking sense the day I started BIM, because I'd already come from 5 years at ACM. I was talking sense the day I left BIM, 3 or 4 weeks after I left BIM, and I lost all my friends, and because they worked at BIM, and it was all of a sudden they were in that camp, and it was a bit of a business divorce, and I lost all my friends, and I was sitting there thinking, shit, it's literally me against the world. And it was literally me against the world. And I was going and seeing solicitors about selling my shares in a company, and I was just stuck in my house thinking, fuck, what am I going to do for the rest of my life? I was talking sense then. There was no difference in the message. The thing is I'd lost the audience. And then with this, all of a sudden, I build a bit of an audience and people go, oh yeah, he talks sense. There's no difference in what I've been doing. It's just that all of a sudden I've just got a platform to do it. And I feel like with your band, that proof, as soon as the band goes into 5,000, 10,000, 15,000 people who are going, I love this band, all of a sudden, that's when people are sniffing around you as opposed to you having to go to them. And I think if you go to a booking agent or a manager, all those sorts of people, I feel like they can organize stuff so they can be another pair of hands. But at the moment, I would say if you've got the guys in the band, if there's guys in the band who aren't doing enough, then they need to be doing more, because the manager at the moment he might be able to do a few more phone calls and try and get gigs, but he's still going to have the same problem that as soon as he goes to a venue outside of Manchester and goes to a venue in, say, Bristol, they're going to say, but how many people can they bring down? How can you prove that many people, etc., etc. So I think a big part of it is you're going to prove it. So, for example, one thing I think you need to think about is your YouTube, because that is something, I've been banging on about a lot recently, but you've got loads of good content on your YouTube, but no one's seeing it. So because your subscribers on your YouTube compared to your followers on your Facebook are very, very different. And the reason for that is only because you've got stuff going on Facebook, and YouTube is almost like, I'll take the stuff that we've done on Facebook or videos that we've got, and I'll put them on YouTube. So it's a bit of a search engine library that people can come and find you. But because if you think about your band as a content building machine, like everyone loves a big fat riff, everyone loves like this type of stuff that you do. You play some killer riffs. So you being in a rehearsal room, and all of a sudden there's like a massive big fat riff where the guitar comes in, and all of a sudden the drums and the bass kicks in. It's literally 30 seconds, but a bit of talking before and after that, or Facebook Live, whatever it's going to be, but however you do it. And it's like, oh, we've just got this killer riff that we've just written. For someone like me who's not in the band but knows the band and likes the band, I'll see that and I'll be like, oh, that's cool. And all of a sudden, the next, 3 days later, there's you showing exactly what you showed me. Oh, I've just made this cool merch stuff. I'm really excited about this. And I'll go, oh, that's quite cool. It's just little tiny things. And I think what happens with YouTube is, I think bands think that YouTube is there like Vivo or whatever it is, where it's like when we get a professional video, we will put that on YouTube, but the kind of day-to-day stuff is going to go on Facebook. And I think it should be almost the opposite. I think it should be, when we do day-to-day stuff, we need to get it on YouTube, because people can find you on YouTube, but it's actually quite difficult for people to just search around for bands and find you on Facebook. The only time they're going to find you on Facebook is if they meet you, or they meet someone, or someone shares something. So that's, that works really well. But someone can literally put in Manchester riff rock, and you could have 10 videos on your YouTube which have got that in the meta tags in the SEO that you pop up first. And and let's face it, when people are looking, there's going to be a promoter meeting this week where someone goes, oh, we need some bands for March or April or something, and someone goes, oh, well, what have we got? What's new and exciting? And whether it's Manchester or just outside, and the first thing they're going to do is they're going to go, oh, I don't know, let's have a look. They can search Google, they can search YouTube. They can't search Facebook for that sort of meta tags the same as they can search YouTube. So I feel like one thing I would do is really think about how you can get 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, because I think as soon as you get 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, you'll be surprised how fast it'll grow, because the meta tags and Google SEO will propel it.